I took this, took that, went to this doctor, that doctor. They wouldn't operate on it because it wasn't bad enough. And then one day I started working here about 20 years ago, and I watched the original Teeter presentations, and I'm like, I gotta try this, and I'm telling you. Unbelievable. And it makes sense because, you know, we spend our whole lives compressing our bodies, right, due to gravity. Doesn't it make sense to be able to turn yourself upside down and stretch your body out and allow those joints to rehydrate, allow all those fluids to get back into your spine? It's unbelievable. We would love to hear your testimonials. We're gonna put our testimonial line up because really that is the best way that you can share the wealth here and let other people know how it's helped you. So give us a call anytime you see our phone number. It's right down there at the bottom. But honestly, if you suffer from any kind of back pain, if you sciatica, nerve pain, whatever it is, and you're looking for some instant temporary relief, this is the way to go. We're gonna talk about lots of stories, and then Riley Teeter is gonna come out in a bit. She's gonna come out, she's gonna Skype in, and we're gonna talk to her as well. We're gonna put a testimonial out there first that we want you to take a listen to. This gentleman's name is Horace. Gonna tell you a little bit of his story, and then we'll come back, we'll tell you everything about it and what you're gonna get.
I was always an active person. I've always been physical. To have that come to a screeching halt was something I really couldn't live with. Physically, mentally, and emotionally, I was totally a grumpy old man. When I got my Teeter, that's when it all changed for me. And the more I worked my back, the more relief my back gave me. And that's when I knew that this machine really works. It's so simple and yet so effective. If it wasn't for the Teeter, I wouldn't be the person I am today. It put the smile back on my face. If I was face to face with Roger Teeter, I would cry like a baby because what he gave me was my life back. And I thank him. I thank him for that.
You can just tell me in person.
Oh, God. Thank you, sir. I didn't know you were going to be here.
I love my job, and it's because of testimonies like yours. I wrecked my back, and Inversion changed my life. This is not a gimmick. We're not just selling product. We're selling a changed lifestyle.
Yes.
So many people have written off their ability to move freely because of old age. No, it's the long-term effects of gravity combined with lifestyle, posture, and a whole lot of other things. Teeter's a way to fight back against that.
I can't thank you enough.
I love watching stories like that. I hear it all the time. People, you know, I've got high school buddies that I played football with, college buddies that were athletes, all that stuff, and they always ask me, you know, it's one of the things that happens, especially if you're a bigger guy, you know, and you're putting a lot of weight on your spine and you're doing crazy things, or maybe you got kids or grandkids, and they always ask me, and I'm like, you need to get one of these machines. You have to try it. Our price today is $329, marked down from $450. You can break up the payments, 3 payments of $109.98. If you have an H10 credit card, we'll give you an extra flex payment, so it's not so much, about 80 bucks per month. Get it home. You know, you don't think twice about putting, you know, good tires on your car. You don't think twice about taking care of your kids. This is a way to take care of yourself so that you can take care of your family. And I am passionate about it. I bought my first Teeter Inversion table about 18, 20 years ago. I had it forever. I bought the brand new one. I've just bought the brand new model last year, which is this one, the X3. They've made so many improvements, improvement after improvement after improvement, if that's possible, because I loved it from the beginning. But it is truly a way that, it's something that can truly set you free. If you struggle, if you don't play golf anymore, if you don't take a walk, if you can't pick up the kids, if you can't jump in a pool, all the things that maybe you want to do, can't even walk from point A to point B, you need to try this. Linda is with us, and she's going to be our demonstration gal here in the studio as well, and she's getting a great stretch. Most important, here's what I want to tell you before Riley comes out. Riley's being patient, waiting for me here. 3 to 5 minutes a day. We're not talking about an hour a day. We're not talking about hanging upside down forever. We're talking about 3 to 5 minutes a day. You don't have to go all the way to full inversion, okay? You can pick what's comfortable for you, but the minute you start taking your weight off your spine, you will start to feel the relief, all right? And I'm talking about, as I said, any kind of a disc issue, sciatica, whatever it is, or if you're just looking for a great stretch, it's the perfect machine to try. Last thing I'll say before Riley comes out, never get on a machine you don't trust. I trust this machine. I trust Roger Teeter. I trust Riley Teeter. I mean, and I'm a big guy. I'm 6'3", 235 pounds. I'm not getting on one of those cheapo ripoff models that you see in some stores. I want to get on the Teeter. And again, customer pick, so many reviews over and over that are all 5-star reviews. You're going to absolutely love it. You're seeing right here all the different things and ways that can help in decompressing the spine, rehydrating the joints. Riley will talk about all the technology, but try it, please. If you've tried everything else and you've seen it and said, I can't do that, yes, you can do this, you can get on it. 3 to 5 minutes a day, it'll be amazing for you. Let me introduce you to Riley Teeter. She's the daughter of the founder, Roger Teeter. She's the head of the company, and she knows more about this than anybody. Riley, great to see you. Thank you so much for Skyping in with us today.
Good morning. Yes, thank you for having me.
Riley, this is...
You've covered just about all of it.
This is, but you know what, honestly, and you know because I know you're a friend of mine, this really changed my life. It gave me my life back because I'm a guy, I can't sit still for a minute. I always want to be doing something, you know, whether it's splitting logs or working out. I want to be able to do that stuff. This guy right here really made all that happen again. So why don't you just give us kind of a overall sort of, what do people want this for?
Well, you know, when you use the Teeter, you're using your body weight and gravity to decompress the spine. And that allows you to target back pain naturally at the source. Because when you think about it, so many of the other options that you have, they're dealing with symptoms. You're taking a pill, your back's still screaming, you've just sort of silenced it. This is something where you're getting real, natural relief targeted at the source of the ache, and it's relieving pain in 4 different ways. You are stretching and relaxing tense muscles. You are naturally realigning the spine. Now, realignment of the spine typically requires an appointment. You're going somewhere and getting that done to you. It does something really special, which is the decompression, and that is critical to why you're able to get the relief. It takes the pressure off of nerve roots. So you mentioned sciatica. If you have a pinched nerve, whether it's actually sciatica in the lower back or it's in the neck, you have that radiating pain down the shoulders, anywhere in your body, that is going to relieve the pressure and the pain. Plus, by decompressing the disc, we are getting it to its full height capacity, full of the nutrition and hydration that it needs, because our discs are avascular. They don't have a blood supply, and they are relying on the moments when the pressure's off to actually absorb surrounding moisture, which is where their nutrition is. So here you can see what's happening. You go to any angle, nice, gentle, relaxing angle. You can do some stretching, or you can just lay there and let decompression happen. It stretches and relaxes muscles. You saw the realignment of the spine. And here's that decompression, where we're taking the pressure off the nerve roots, because those discs control the height, the space for those nerve roots to exit. So it just makes sense. You relieve the pressure, you relieve the pain, but those discs are also getting that hydration opportunity. So it's natural, it's easy, it's targeted, and even better, it is FDA registered for really serious kinds of issues. Overarching back pain, of course, but there's sciatica, pinched nerve. And again, it can be the sciatica that's in the lower back, but it can be anywhere along the spine. Spinal degenerative joint disease, that's the same as osteoarthritis. Spinal curvature due to tight muscles, muscle tension. And then there is herniated disc. Now that also can be called a slipped, a bulged disc, degenerative disc disease, spinal stenosis, facet syndrome, and muscle spasm. So a huge number of different conditions that are really, really quite serious. This can help target and get you that natural pain relief.
Yeah, and if you collectively add up all those things that you just mentioned, the one thing that's not on that list is the word stress, which I will tell you, tell you, every one of those things on their own is stressful, but when you've got 1 or 2 of those things or 3 or 4 of those things going on, and then you throw getting older into the mix, you've got stress, and you start to worry, will I be able to do this again? Will I be able to do that again? When I'm gonna be able to get my strength back? Am I gonna get my flexibility back? For some people, listen, it's walking over and just opening up the refrigerator door without feeling pain. For other people, it's swinging a golf club, swinging a baseball bat. For me, you know, I love to ski, I love to hike. I do things that are tough on the back. Okay, skiing in of itself, right? You're hitting bumps. I'm compressing, and I will tell you, and I'm in my late 50s. Okay, and I am telling you, I feel as good as I did when I was back in my 20s or 30s, and I know it has to do with this, because when I was in my 30s and 40s, I didn't feel as good as I do now. I went through that period where I was searching. I did, Riley, what you did, I mean, or what you talked about. I was seeing chiropractic, and I'm not, you know, poo-pooing down all the doctors. I'm not doing that. I'm just saying, I would go to see them, I'd try, and then it would come back. I tried taking things. I'm like, I don't want to do that. I want to go more natural. This is completely natural. And once you pay for this, you never pay for anything again. I mean, you literally, it gives back every single day. And I don't know about you folks out there, but I'd spend $329 in one day just to get my back to feel better. I'd pay that whole amount. You know, people are paying $85, $100 for trips to the chiropractor and all these different things. And yeah, if it helps, it helps. I had a chiropractor that gave me the greatest advice. And you know, and this was the only guy I ever really, really loved as a chiropractor, because I went through about 5 of them. And you know what he told me? He said, do what feels good. If it makes you feel good, then your body is sending a signal that it's okay. Because I had a doctor that said, you're never gonna run again. And I said, but when I run, sometimes it loosens up, it feels better. This chiropractor was like, whatever feels good. When you get on an inversion table, it feels amazing. It's like the weight of the world comes off, not only physically, but emotionally, because you're literally floating like you're in space. And we're just talking about the NASA astronauts and all that. You literally feel weightless, and you can feel like a stretch that you've never felt before. $329 is our discounted price. You want to pay full price somewhere else, go ahead. But we got it at $329.95. You can break up the payments, and we're going to ship it to your front door for free. This is a substantial machine. You don't want to have to haul this home from somewhere. And please don't go buy one that looks like this. I am telling you, okay, this is worth the investment. When you look at all the ratings, it's got every badge, everything on here, that the testing. Riley's going to talk about how well this has been tested. No machine is even close. It's way up at the top of the mountain. Everyone is down here. You're going to hang upside down, or you're going to hang on an inversion level. You want to make sure you're safe. And I told you, I trust this machine. These are all customer reviews at the bottom, by the way. And you're seeing arrives quickly, easy to put together, extremely well made. This is industrial steel. Roger was like an aircraft engineer. The Roger who designed this, your dad, he put so much into making sure, Riley, that this machine is safe.
That's right. And you mentioned the certificates and that this product has. And this is the only inversion table that meets those tough standards and can carry the actual marks. If you turn the table on the other side, you'll see all this labeling, and those are certifications that say that we've tested the product. This is medical grade quality. And the reason it's able to not only pass, but surpass those standards is that we use heat treated steel. This is not ordinary steel. So, you know, I mean, you can look at 2 inversion tables, and especially if you're online and you've got those little pictures, they can look similar. But when you cut that steel open, not only is it thinner gauge steel, but it's ordinary steel, which means that it's much less resistant to fatigue. So think of a wire coat hanger. If you take it and you bend it back and forth, it snaps pretty fast. That's ordinary steel. So our heat treated high carbon steel is in all the critical components. And here you can see where that really matters, because that dotted line on the far end that says safety requirement, that's the UL standard. So that's the minimum that UL says you have to meet to be a safe product. The top one is us. You can see that we surpassed that. They actually stopped the test for time, and then my dad jumped on and did sit-ups. Now, every other product failed at around 10% of spec value. And if you looked at these products, they were mangled. It was broken or torn metal, just like that wire coat hanger. It fatigues, it snaps at these joints, and the whole thing goes. So it's so critical, it really is, to make sure that you're getting a high quality piece of equipment that you can trust, because this is a place you're going to relax, to stretch, to meditate, to just get that relief. And if you're on a product that is shifting, is rickety, you can't relax on, it's going to inhibit your ability to get the results. And I will also say that they do a lot of really silly things on these other products that are marketing gimmicks. Like, for example, the big thing on these other products is they put memory foam on the bed, which sounds amazing. You're thinking memory foam, that's deluxe. But what happens with memory foam? Your body sinks into it. Now, what we're trying to do, why this works, why Teeter is so effective at naturally relieving back pain is because you're getting what's called decompression. And that requires your body to elongate and slide. And that's why our bed surface is firm. We need to get that body slide so that we can open up the joints and relieve the pressure and relieve the pain. So it's an absolute gimmick. It's silly. It stops you getting the benefits, but people fall for it, you know?
Yeah.
It seems like you're getting something luxurious. So, but what we did, I will tell you, is our bed surface is harder, and it originally was bolted onto the steel frame. And we read all the reviews on HSN, and the customer said, you know, I sure wish it was a little bit more comfortable. Now, knowing we couldn't put foam on it, we actually, and I'm gonna turn it so you can see, we actually lifted it up off the bed here, and you can see that it's on 8 points of floating suspension so that the table moves, and that gives you the flexibility and kind of like a hammock, right? It gives, it squishes, and it creates a softness to the bed that makes it more comfortable without stopping the benefits. And that's the kind of thing, that's the engineering, that's the thinking, because we're buying this not because we think it's pretty and we want it in our house, we're buying it because we want that relief. And so it's very critical as we go through all the design elements to think those things through. So I want to show you something else on the bed that's totally unique to Teeter, is the fact that there's a track on here. Now, you are getting these accessories included today. You have the lumbar bridge, and you can see that you can set it up anywhere on the bed. I like to set it down low, and what it does is it allows you to square your hips. So if you've ever been to a chiropractor and they lay you down and they check your leg length, it's not because they actually think your legs are a different length, but rather that it's an indication that the hips are twisted or out of balance. And since they're the foundation of the spine, it's the first thing the chiropractor is going to want to adjust. Because what happens when your hips are out of alignment, whether you're sitting all the time with your legs crossed, or you tend to put your wallet or your phone in a back pocket, when the hips are twisted, the whole spine will compensate and also twist to bring your head square on top of your head, on top of your shoulders, right? So you're not walking around like this when your hips are out of alignment.
Right.
You start to have this whole curvature happen. So when we square the hips, we can actually better realign the rest of the spine. You're also getting the acupressure nodes. There's 8 of these. You get 2 of 4 different heights. You can put them anywhere along the track. So this is like, and you just screw them in. You can see there's a little wing nut on the back, and you're just gonna go into the track and twist. And you might have to tighten yours down if it's not holding.
I got it.
But it allows you to take a tight muscle. So if you've ever had that knot in your back, and when you go to the massage therapist, they're gonna push into it, it's gonna hurt a little bit initially, and then it's going to release all that tension. So all these things built into the product to really enhance the overall benefits for you.
Riley, my area is, and you know this because we work together, mine's L5, so it's down here on the lower part of my back, and I take the nodes and I put them in like right where the little knot is, and you have different nodes you can put in. You have ones that are taller and ones that are shorter, so you can adjust, but if maybe you've got a little pinched area of your shoulder, your back, you can adjust them. Roger and Riley, when this was developed, they put all these little channels in so you can move it around. If you're feeling good, you don't need them at all. I love the lumbar bridge. I use this all the time because I'm a taller person, so nice being able to adjust it up or down. I also love the ratcheting traction for your feet, because you can get your feet in, and I'll do it really quickly and show you. This was an upgrade they did a while back, and I love it. And what's nice too, they put a handle on it that's really tall, so if you listen, You can hear how it locks in. That's what keeps your feet nice and secured. And you can also adjust the pedals if you need to have them higher or lower. The material that goes on your ankles is super, super soft and comfortable. So when you're on it and you're hanging, because a lot of people are like, well, doesn't that hurt your feet? It doesn't. It's very, very soft. It's a really super, super duper material. And I never even feel that. I just feel pleasure. I mean, I'm literally, my son will come back, because I have mine in my gym. And what I do, and I've found that I love doing this, in between my sets of lifting weights, I get on here. And I've also, Riley, which I think you'll be proud of me, I've been doing the leg raises in complete inversion for your quads.
Oh, yeah, the little squats.
Yeah,
like
the little squats.
Yeah.
I've been doing those, and I was thinking for guys, you know, if you want to build a larger, you want to get your quads going, or even, ladies too. Also, you can feel it right up to your butt cheeks. I'm telling you, it is a great, we'll show you that in a little bit. But you get a great workout. I'm going to get in it in a second. It's just hard for me to talk while I'm upside down, and I love to go full inversion. Really quickly, before we get to our doctor testimonials, I want to remind you, when you start out, if you see how Linda is doing, you start out just with a little bit of inversion to get used to it. There's nothing to be afraid of. You'll feel your weight. You set it on your height, and you adjust it. There's several ways you can adjust it, and Riley will talk to those in a minute, but even this amount of inversion is taking the weight off your spine, okay? Even that amount. And the feeling is amazing. You literally feel like you're on the, you're floating in space. You really do, and you can feel that relief instantaneously. And the last thing I'll say is the big thing for me is the instant relief. When I used to have pain and I'd get it on a Saturday, no doctors or no chiropractors working on the week, I'd have to wait till Monday to even call them. And then unless it was an emergency, I wouldn't see them for 3 or 4 days. I'm in pain for 3 or 4 days. You feel anything, you try this, it's instant relief. Temporary relief, but instant relief. I use mine on a regular basis. I use it every time I work out, and it's only a minute or two. I only hang for like 60, 90 seconds when I do that. Do what works for you. We have some doctors that actually want to talk to you. We've been talking about doctors, and as I said, we're not putting down doctors, but we want to listen to their information and their take on it as professionals in the business. So take a listen to this, and then Riley and I and Linda will be back, and we'll talk more about it.
So when you decompress, there is a lengthening of the spine. And by doing so, with a greater disc height, you've got more room for the nerves. There's less compression with the facet joints. And the spine is just much happier.
For the past 53 years, I've been a neurosurgeon with a major interest in chronic pain and dealing with many patients with back pain. Most patients tell me if they use their Teeter inversion table on a regular basis, they simply feel much better. No one has to do anything to you, and I think it's a very natural way to deal with the problem.
It's very empowering, too, to be able to actually fix something or make something feel better on your own. It really is, and not to have to go and book appointments and spend money and take things you don't want to take. It's so nice to be able to do this, and it makes good sense. The one wonderful or many wonderful things, but one of the things I really love about both Roger and Riley is how they explain the product and how they explain your body and show you what it's doing. This is not magic. This is not a Band-Aid. This is not a quick fix. This is something, well, it is kind of a quick fix in essence, because you are feeling great. But this is not something that you have to take that's artificial. This is not something that you have to go and set up an appointment for. This is right in your home whenever you need it, or your loved one needs it. Okay, my son Danny, he's only 19, he loves it. He's like, Dad, man, I'm stiff. I said, get on the inversion table, little brother. Go out there, and he stretches out. He feels fantastic. And I can't even tell you the feeling. I have advised friends, family members. I'm like, this is easily, if not the #1 thing I've ever picked up at HSN. And I always talk about my top 5, and I've got them all there. It's probably the best thing, I know it's the best thing I've ever bought for me physically. There's never been anything better. And I looked for years to find something. I hate, my dad was a coach and like an athletic guy, and he's always like, no, you don't want to take anything, try to get rid of it naturally, try to stretch. He was always saying that. And this was way before I was introduced to Teeter. So listen to some of the reviews, or read the reviews that you see at the bottom of the screen. Everybody recommends it. And if you're a senior out there, try it. You have 30 days to try it out. All you're gonna pay is $109. If you have an HSN credit card, it's, Stan, what is it, like $89, I think it is? Yeah, $82 if you have an HSN credit card. If you don't have an HSN credit card, get one, we'll give you 10 bucks. You get this for $319. But try it, please. And by the way, if there's anybody out there that just tuned in, if you own it, please call. Our 800 number is at the screen there. Give us a call. We would love, actually our testimonial line, we'd love to hear from you. Tell us your experience with it. Share it with other people, because there's a lot of people that probably are like, man, I'd love to find a way to feel better. I don't know. There it is right down there. I just don't know what else to do. You know, I'm going to the doctor all the time. I can't even sit in a chair. And it's amazing, Riley, really quickly, it's amazing the things that we do that we think are taking the weight off our back, like just sitting down. Would you explain to everybody that doesn't necessarily help our back, right?
We actually have an animation that shows it. If you guys find it, it's called the Knockhamson animation. And it's so true. Activities that you think, oh, here it is. So this was a study that was done, and a pressure sensor was surgically implanted in the third lumbar disc, and they set a baseline of 100% in the standing body position. And they had a lot of participants in this study just to see the real effect. And this is the average number of pressure in the different positions. So we all know bending over is hard on the back. That's why they teach you how to bend your knees and lift with your knees. But here's the big one. You think when you sit down, you're taking a load off because the muscles relax, but you're dumping all that pressure into your spine. And you saw it was bad in good posture, but when you sit at a computer and round the shoulders or slouch on the couch, how much pressure you're putting into the spine. And that's why back pain is becoming so epidemic. But here's the big thing. When you go to bed at night, you still have the equivalent of 25% standing body pressure on your spine, because there's the muscles and the ligaments that provide stabilization to the spine, but also create background compression. So the study found to get the pressure in the disc to at or near zero, you need to pull 60% of your body weight, which you can easily do with the Teeter just by rotating to about 60 degrees of inversion. So that's about even with the rear legs here. At that angle, that's what we call the magic angle, your discs are completely free of pressure, and they're able to absorb the moisture that they need for nutrition. Because remember, they are avascular, they do not have a blood supply, they're not getting constantly pumped with the food like your muscles. They're waiting for those moments when the pressure's off to absorb the moisture that they need to stay healthy, to stay flexible, to give you the shock absorption and relieve the pain. So by inverting on a regular basis, now remember, we're talking about 3 to 5 minutes. That's all you have to invert, but doing it more consistently. So if you have one of those FDA conditions that were indicated for the sciatica, the herniated disc, the spinal degenerative joint disease, getting on more frequently is what is going to change the trajectory. Because we talk about the relief, right? We get instantaneous, for most people, relief in just the 3 to 5 minutes. But by doing it on a regular basis, you are changing the trajectory and the health of your spine. Just like, you know, you get a great face cream. If you put it on once, yeah, that's nice, right? You can see it maybe plump, but it's going to be that regular usage of that product that's really going to change things. Same thing with brushing your teeth or any other health activity. It's consistency. And that's why, you know what, I love chiropractors. I have a great chiropractor that I very much enjoy seeing, but I see him pretty irregularly. And if that was my only course of helping my spine, you know, you're just as good as often as you can do it. So the more often you can do it, like with a product in your own home, the bigger difference you're going to have in the overall health of your spine. I would love to show you how easy this is, because it really is quite remarkable. From the moment that you get it out of the box, this product comes 85% pre-assembled. So that means that the entire ankle assembly here, 100% pre-assembled. Every single part here put together. You will just slide this into the housing of the bed, which is also 100% pre-assembled. You are simply pull this out, you'll put on the roller hinges and click it into the base, which is also 100% pre-assembled. Those handles right there, they're the only assembly that you have. There's 3 machine screws and 1 bolt, and then everything else just clicks and slides together. So it takes most people about 15 minutes. And from that point, you will find the instructions. They're hanging on the actual product here. And then from there, it's as easy as 1, 2, 3. You'll look for the labels here. You'll set it to your height. Now, to do that, you pull this up and you pull the pin. Now, if you want to slide it down, I recommend turning it this way and letting gravity help slide it down in. And then if you need to make it longer, do this. It's here in inches and centimeters. So I'm looking at 5'7". So that's the first thing, set your height. Then you're setting your angle. So this is an upgraded tether strap that you're getting. It's color coded at 20, 40, and 60 degrees. You find the spot that you want to go to and you preset it. So you're never going further than you actually want to invert. You're in complete control. And then from here, you just secure the ankles. This is your last step. Now take a look at this ankle closure. This is a massive upgrade. You can go find a Teeter out in the market at the same price as what we have here today, but it will not have so many of these features that I'm going to cover for you. It's about $200 in upgrades on this product, and the biggest one being this ankle closure. This is something that we designed for medical facilities, for clinics, and the regular model, you're bending all the way down. It's a pin lock, right? This is steel here. This is stainless steel. It has a double lock system. So you can hear the teeth engage as you close it, but it also has a secondary lock that as you rotate into inversion, it'll flip and double lock your feet in. This has ergo embrace cups, so it wraps around the ankles. It's hard on the outside to give you that security, and then soft and squishy on the inside for comfort. Now, because we set it to your height, half your body weight's on one side of the pivot point and half your body weight's on the other. So just like the name suggests, it operates much like a teeter-totter. And this is why we always tease my dad that he was meant to build this business, make a product that teeters.
Isn't that funny? I always laugh at that, but it's true.
Yeah, it's crazy. Everybody, they are always asking us, is that really your last name?
Riley,
it indeed is.
You're like an astronaut. I mean, that's what it, doesn't it feel like that, right? You literally feel weightless. Ah. Awesome. All right, Riley, while you are relaxing there, we have a caller. We asked for testimonial callers, so we're going to go to the beautiful state of North Dakota, and we're going to talk to our friend Doug. Doug is out there. Doug owns one of our inversion tables and would like to tell everybody about it. First of all, Doug, thanks for calling in. Welcome to HSN.
Thank you very much. Good morning, Guy.
Good morning, buddy. Hey, listen, I appreciate you calling in. Why don't you tell everybody what your story is and how you got involved with Teeter?
Well, I had my first back injury over 30 years ago.
Sure.
And I've struggled ever since. And dealing with back pain is probably one of the worst things you can do.
Yep.
And I finally decided a few months ago to purchase the Teeter from HSN.
Yeah.
And it's just changed my life. It does what it says. And I've never felt better.
Isn't that bad? You know what, Doug, it's funny, I'm listening to you talk and I'm thinking of my experience, same way. It's like, I wish I had found this 25 years ago, 30 years ago, before. I was lucky enough to get them when they first came out, but I love that you're just experiencing it. And Doug, tell everybody out there, because when your back is out, it is the most awful, depressing situation, right?
Absolutely. You don't want to do anything.
Right.
You don't want to go anywhere.
No.
And you just want to lay there and do nothing.
I know.
Which only makes the back pain worse.
Exactly, yeah. You lay down, you sit down, it feels worse and worse. You can't even get comfortable in a chair. And then you get on this and you get it, right? You're like, oh my gosh, this is what I've been waiting. This is what I've been waiting for. Well, listen, my friend, I am so happy for you. Because
I have one quick story.
Sure, go, tell it.
About a month after I received the inversion table, I worked a 15-hour day. I was on my feet all day.
Sure.
And my back was hurting so bad when I got done. And I came home, and the first thing I did was got on my inversion table, and in 5 minutes is all it took, and the pain was gone.
Unbelievable. You know what it is?
Like I could go back and do another 15 hours.
Doug, Riley's laughing too. You know what? The reason we laugh with you is because it's like when you have this table, it's like all of a sudden somebody gave you the keys and set you free. It really is that way. I mean, I know that sounds kind of hokey, but that is what it is. And I always tell people, Doug, even if you're skeptical, try it. Would you not agree to tell people, Doug, try this, right?
Absolutely. I've told many people since I've got this that they need to try it. I've invited them into my home to give it a try if they would like.
I do too.
And it's wonderful.
We have a teeter party. All right, everybody get on the teeter. And you know what's fun? First of all, Doug, I want to thank you because we got to move on. But thank you so much. Appreciate your phone call, buddy, and continued success.
You're very welcome.
Good health too. See you, pal.
Yep.
All right,
bye.
So it's funny, but I, like Doug, I tell people, like, you need to try this, okay? You really need, and everybody that gets on it, you know, at first they're a little hesitant. They're like, well, what, is it scary? I'm like, it's not scary. I want you to think about the weight of the world coming off you. I want you to feel that beautiful head rush that you get. That feeling that you've never felt. Maybe, you know what, the last time you felt that was maybe before you were born. Right? When you were floating, you get that feeling. That's what it's all about. And it will release you from the chains of pain and things like that have had you locked up for years. You heard what Doug said. And you know what's great too? He did what I did. He want to tell people. It's like people don't get it. You got to try this out. Before you make another appointment, before you take another, artificial means of getting rid of pain, you need to try this out. All right? This price down here is nothing. I look at it and people are like, well, $329. I'm like, you want to turn upside down on a $150 machine? Go ahead. The reason this is $329 is because of all the testing, all the research, because of Roger, because of Riley, because of what they've put in it. Time and time again, upgrading it, making sure it's safe for you, using heavy duty, not typical steel, but whatever Riley was talking about, how the steel is
heat-treated, high carbon.
Heat-treated, thank you, Riley. That is, but Riley, that's not cheap. And you know what? When you see a model out there for under $200, you wanna roll the dice on that, you go ahead, but I'm not gonna do it. I want this machine, it's discounted today. It's normally $450, it's $329. We'll ship it for free. You get everything that we were talking about, plus all the bonuses. You get the little nodes, so you can get the little sort of back massage while you're on it. You get the lumbar bridge, which helps with the curvature of your spine so that you're really stretching out and elongating perfectly. The foot traction, the ratcheting foot traction handle, unbelievable. Because I had the original, Riley, that you had to go all the way down and click it.
Right, yeah.
And what does that do? It's making you bend over. This is awesome, all right? So we've got more callers coming in. Hey, Riley, we're gonna go, we just hit North Dakota, we're gonna go to South Dakota now, Riley. We're gonna say, say hi.
Great.
We're gonna say hi to Kathy. She's in South Dakota, and she's obviously owns one and wants to tell people about it. Hi, Kathy, welcome into HSN.
Hi, I'm glad to call in. I just saw you had North Dakota, so I had to represent South Dakota. So.
We're covering it all. Hey, Kathy, tell us about your experience with Teeter, would you?
Yeah, I got mine in October. I have severe osteoporosis.
Okay.
And they said, check with your doctor, if you can use this. I got into chiropractors, nothing helped, and my spine gets so compressed. I actually have multiple compression fractures.
Wow.
Because I get so compressed.
Uh-huh.
This device took me, and I'm just speaking for me, and of course check with your doctor.
Sure.
It gave me relief where it lines me back up. Instead of getting that hunched back over that you see people with osteoporosis, it pulls me back, pulls my shoulders back, in essence lines me back up so I'm not leaning forward, putting all that pressure, hence causing those fractures. And it takes it off. And it's the only thing that's been able to give me relief. And I get out of alignment so bad because I start leaning forward. My neck even hurts. And what I found out, too, is that your muscles will actually, over the areas that are fractured, they start protecting it like a body cast. So I would get these tight knots in my back. I'd go to the chiropractor, and they would press on it and get that device and snap on my spine. And I would just you know, they would hurt so bad, but
Sure.
this just takes you back and lines you back, and
Yeah.
it's amazing. I use it twice a day.
I
use it in the morning.
love that you're doing it in your home, and you can do it whenever you need to, Kathy, right? You don't have to make appointments. You don't have to wait because,
Right.
you know, when we were talking to our other caller, same thing. It's like instant relief that and nothing else really was working. And then you try this, right? And all you want to do is tell people about it.
Exactly. I never call, and you know, I don't even do the reviews online, but I see this all the time. I watch it. I always learn something new when
Good
I
for
watch
you.
you guys. And I just say, for anybody out there,
Yeah.
I mean, just try it. I mean, you've got nothing to lose. It's easy to put together. You don't have to be a scientist. You just lock your ankles in. You tilt back. You do as far back. You don't have to. I don't do the phone version. You find that sweet spot I find where I actually, and you can set the angle with that underneath so that you can customize it to yourself. And I found that perfect. 45 is my perfect angle.
Yeah.
And I use that twice a day, and I'm good.
Yeah, and that's where Linda is right about now, right? Just about 45, and you see it's comfortable, and you're already doing so much good. And Kathy, I want to thank you too, because I know you said you don't call TV. You may have just helped, even if you just helped one other person make the decision, you've done your job. You actually did my job almost as well, I think as good as I can do it. So my producer just said better. Thanks, Stan. All right. Hey, Kathy, good for you. Thanks for sharing your story and helping out other people. Appreciate you.
Okay, thanks for taking my call.
My pleasure. Stay healthy. All right, so Riley, I mean, we got both Dakotas chiming in, but would you talk about what Kathy was just talking about too a little bit with the muscles and all that? Yeah.
Yeah, so her condition is actually on the FDA list. So what she's talking about is well recognized. The Teeter is a way to help with. But for those of you that don't have what she's talking about, where you have that, you know, osteoarthritis that's driving you forward, you still probably have postural changes from looking down at your computer screen or your phone, and those are degenerative as well, and those also add compression to the spine. Here we're seeing the long-term effects of that, right? We all know that we lose height as we age, right? You've talked to grandparents, or you see it in yourself that you're losing height. And what that means is obviously a loss of figure because your body mass is the same, but it's in a shorter column. And of course, the poor posture compounds that body shape change. But the real difference is in the discs. When they are thin, you lose flexibility and mobility. Now, I really want you to pay attention to that because there are really two things that we're doing with the Teeter. We spend a lot of time talking about pain because when you have pain, that's the immediate thing you've got to deal with. And this is a natural way to target the source of the ache. It takes 3 to 5 minutes. But why it's able to relieve the pain is because we are caring for the health of the spine. So if you want a healthy spine as you age, you want a flexible, mobile spine that can keep you doing the things that you love, this is that maintenance program. Like cardio is the maintenance program for your heart, or strength training is the maintenance program for your muscles. This is what you're doing for your joints. And I will say, amazing number of athletes, dancers, professional athletes, football players that use this because they understand the importance of joints in the trajectory of life. In fact, most of the time, those professional athletes, it's a joint injury that takes them out of the game. So my dad, we haven't talked a lot about my dad. And I know that he's listening right now. He loved those callers. I know he's probably sitting with his cup of coffee crying because he absolutely loves these testimonials. But here it is. Here he is. He's 82 in September. He is out there. So I wish we were videotaping him yesterday because my boys, they want to learn to wake surf, right?
Right.
And it's a crazy sport where you're behind the boat and you create this wave and you learn to surf it. And my 82-year-old dad is out there getting up. The kids are hooting and hollering. He's surfing, and he's just a diehard. He's an inspiration. And remember, in his 40s, he had back pain. He had debilitating back pain. He had the type of back pain where he couldn't just get out of bed and stand up and walk around. He would have to crawl. He would get on his hands and knees and crawl to the shower to get hot water in his back just to loosen up the muscles so that he can stand up. So he went from that point in his life in his 40s to in his 80s, surfing, water skiing. I mean, you name it, he's part of it. And so it's just like these other callers were saying. You live with pain. You are going through, and you'll try anything. You're trying everything.
Everything, yeah.
And my dad was introduced to inversion. Now, this is not a new concept. This is actually documented as far back as 400 BC by Hippocrates. So the father of medicine, you know, the Hippocratic Oath, he invented inversion to relieve back pain. And it's been reinvented many times throughout civilization. And at the time that my dad tried inversion, it was a gravity boot. So you would put these boots on, and then you would have to hold onto a bar, hoist your body up. He had to have people help him get into inversion. And then it was only full inversion, which can, you know, be a little bit more intense if you're dealing with back pain. And he's an engineer. He did aircraft engineering. He designed water skis. In fact, his design of water skis, the honeycomb feature, they're still using today. He's in the Water Ski Hall of Fame. And he said, you know I can make something that's better, that's more comfortable, more accessible. You can do it at different angles. It's going to open it up that more people can experience what he's experienced. So that was nearly 40 years ago. Started in our garage just down the street from here with my mom, my grandpa, myself as a little girl building this stuff as well. So it really is a labor of love. It really is from his own experience.
He dedicated his life to it. He continues to do that, and it is an amazing, amazing machine. All I can tell you is try it. You know, when we talk about FDA, we'll put that up again to you. This is it's FDA registered, and these are the indications for usage. Okay, if you got a herniated disc, you need to try it. Back pain. You got sciatica. You've got a degenerative spinal disease, spinal stenosis, facet syndrome, muscle spasms. Even if you heard what Doug was talking about, right? And how all of these can lead to stress and depression. It's all tied together. And you know, a lot of people, to Riley's point just then, a lot of people think when they turn 40 or 50, it's gonna be all downhill from there. That's a state of mind, but it is a state of mind brought upon you by signals that your body is giving you. Right? Either you hurt yourself, you're not taking care of yourself, you're not exercising, you're overweight, whatever it is. All those aspects affect your spine. The spine is in the middle of your body. Everything branches off of it, okay? All your nerves run through it. It's the most important part of your body when you think about the structural integrity of your body. And the reason Roger can do what he's doing at 80 and I'm in my late 50s and I'm stronger than I was when I was in my 20s and 30s is because I take care of it now. I'm smart. I try not to do stupid things. You know, I try not to bend and twist and pretend I'm Superman. If I have an issue, I get on this machine and it brings me back to where I was. I want to show you, I want to get on it really quickly and show you because I'm a big guy. I'm about 2.5 times the size of both Linda and Riley. So I want you to know that the big deal with this and why you want this one is safety. All right, integrity and safety. Nobody wants to lean back and feel worried about a machine that they spent $180 on because they got it online because it would look like this. You want a machine that has integrity. You want a machine that's comfortable. Look at the sensitivity of this. I can get this to stop anywhere I want just by using my arms, bringing my weight back. If I want to go back further, I bring my arms back. If I want to go forward, I bring it forward. This is this is so sensitive, and I'm 6'3" and weigh about 230 pounds. If I want to go all the way back home at 45, I normally go all the way back. I take the tether off, and I go completely inverted because I love the feeling of that. And you only have to do this a few times a day, folks. You don't have to do this, for an hour at a time. You do it a little bit at a time. And you can see what happens to my body when I stretch out. It's not curved this way. It starts to get in that natural elongation. My leg muscles get a stretch. My back muscles get a stretch. Your abdominals get a stretch. Your neck gets a stretch. And one of the things that Roger always talks about is the feeling that you get, the rush of blood and oxygen to your brain because you're upside down. When you come up, you feel like that feeling where you just dove into a refreshing pool of water. You know, you're just like, oh my gosh, that feels amazing. That is one of the extra added features that you get, in addition to like what Doug talked about, how it changed his life. Listen, I offer you a lot of things here at HSN, right? There's not many times that I will say it's gonna change your life. I mean, a lot of us say, oh, this is life-changing, you know, chicken wings. Come on. This is a life-changing product for you. So when you look at $329, I don't know what you spent on the tires for your car. I don't know what you spent on, you know, groceries last week, all things which you need, right? But $329 to change your life, physically, emotionally, to me, it's a drop in the bucket. Well, you don't have to pay it all at once. You can use FlexPay. If you have an HSN credit card, we'll give you another month to pay it off. You're only gonna pay the initial payment to get it home and try it for 30 days, plus your tax. There's no shipping, we'll ship it to you. Give it a week. Heck, give it a day. You'll get on this. If you have any kind of back issue and you get on this, if it doesn't work for you, both Riley, Roger, me, we don't want you to keep it. All right, we don't want it to become a piece of furniture like your treadmill might be, or like, you know, one of these ellipticals maybe you bought and you never use it. We want you to get on this because you feel good after you get on it. And I mean, I can't say anymore. Like I said, I can lead you to the water, but you really need to try it. Everybody gets the Getting Started DVD. We've got that great Teeter Sync app available too, which you can grab. There's lots of extras that you want to do, but remember, you are getting the little massage nodes that you can put anywhere on it. You're getting the head pillow. You're getting the, what am I missing here, Riley? You're getting the...
They're getting the traction handles, which are a huge upgrade.
Lumbar support.
So you're getting, yep, the one on the ankles you're getting, which is a huge upgrade. This is something that we made for medical facilities.
Right.
But the traction handles actually on the bed here allow you to add manual traction at any angle. And I love using them in conjunction with the lumbar bridge, which you're also getting included. Because when you reach up and that lumbar bridge is nice and low and you reach up and push on these, you are really opening up all those joints in the lower back. So I know, Guy, you have your issue in the L5, which is down low. So think about just the amplified stretch you get in that area to really open up and decompress and relieve the pressure and relieve the pain. These are a huge upgrade. They were normally sold separately, but they were so popular that we included them in the HSN configuration. And you're also getting these large handles here. These are normally an extra upgrade. And what they are is like training wheels on a bicycle. You can use them to walk yourself into and out of inversion. Of course, you also have the precision balancing, so you can just use your arms as well. But initially, I think this gives people an extra level of comfort. And then once you're confident on the table, you can use them as GripandStretch handholds for stretching. And stretching is very effective at further releasing the compression and the aches and pains. In fact, the U.S. military did a 6-year evaluation on the Teeter table and on our gravity boots, and they found that the troops that were inverting after basic training, now think about basic training, like the tweaks that they're getting in their body from moving and jumping, just like maybe you are getting when you're starting to go out and garden right now, or whatever activity you're picking up now that the sun is starting to shine, and you feel that misalignment happen, that tweak happen, and you know, oh my gosh, that's gonna hurt so bad tomorrow. Because what happens when you get a misalignment is your body goes, whoa, this vertebrae is not supposed to be here. And the muscle seize and splint. In fact, we had a caller talking about that, how your muscles get so tight because it knows the body's out of alignment. And it says, well, we can't let it keep going out of alignment. So we're just gonna squeeze down and we're gonna hold this joint. So it doesn't wanna go back into place, but at least it keeps it from further going out. Now, the troops that inverted right after they got that tweak and were able to decompress and realign the joint, they skipped all of that. They didn't have that bracing and the seizing and the muscle spasm in their back because they were already back in alignment. So that's the thing. That's what we talk about, because it always happens, like you were saying, Guy, on the weekend. On Friday, you throw your back out, and then on Monday, you get a call and see when they have an available opening. This is something, this is a tool. This is a place you can go in your own home when you feel discomfort. It gives you confidence. That's really the thing that I hear again and again is freedom. We have multiple testimonials as we traveled around. There were two things that I heard. It gives me freedom. It gives me confidence. I know there's a place I can go when I ache, that I'm going to not just be covering up symptoms like you do with pills where you're taking something and your back's still screaming, you just can't hear it. It's real natural relief. It's targeting the source of the ache. It is caring for the rest of the spine so that you have a healthy spine as you age. So you're getting that freedom to gain the confidence to do the activities. And the other thing that people say again and again is they're getting better sleep, because pain is something where, you go to bed at night and you lay there and you're tossing and you're turning, and it makes sleep so much more difficult. And that really is, if you haven't already, this is my secret for you. If you're thinking about it, this is how I use it. It's the last thing I use before I go to bed. It's in my bedroom. I'll jump on it in my PJs, and that whole stretching and relaxation. If you've ever been to a massage and you walk out of there and you feel all warm and gooey, and then you got to pay, you got to get in your car, you got to drive home, you got to deal with your kids. It's like, by the time you get home, 9 times out of 10, that feeling of relaxation is gone. Now imagine if that happened in your bedroom and you got to roll into bed. That's what we're getting here, is your back is realigned, it's decompressed, the discs are hydrated, the muscles are stretched and relaxed, and you're able to hop into your bed with that nice warm feeling of relaxation. And it just, it changes your ability to fall asleep and the comfort that you have during the night. So
I love what, I love what you said about that, because I feel good knowing it's in my house. I feel good knowing I always have access if something happens. I use mine on a regular basis. I call it basically spinal maintenance, because as you get older, it's a way to be able to decompress. There's no other way to really be able to do that. There's no other way you're gonna feel safe and comfortable being upside down than unless you get one of these machines. Take advantage of our great price, take advantage of free shipping, try it, you have nothing to lose but the pain. Give it a shot. I encourage you to do so. I thank you, Linda, for being our model and getting a good stretch for an hour. I always thank you, Riley. You're amazing, and so is your dad. Give everybody in your family our love, and we will hope to see you again very, very soon. Thanks, Riley.
Yes, thank you, Guy.
All right,
have a good one.
See you.